250-mile journey from Kumai to Belitung. It's been sort of steady wind, really. I mean, quite light winds. We're only going sort of, last night we went about 3.5 knots most of the night, and it's just picked up to 4.5 now. So it's been pretty much downwind sailing. We had the main out and Genoa at the beginning, and now we've just got the Genoa poled out, which is keeping us nice and steady. Not too many waves, not too much swell, so it's kind of in light winds we actually can do quite good speed with that pole out as well. But yeah, it's the morning now. We've been doing 3 hours each on the watch. It kind of feels like when you get to sleep you're already waking up again for the next 3 hours. But yeah, it just keeps you going those 3 hours, and the sun is coming up, and looking forward to spending a bit of time in Belitung.
We've done the 2-day passage from Borneo to Belitung, which is kind of between Borneo and Sumatra, and there's a lot of these barges going backwards and forwards, probably from Borneo, getting up the wood chip and the sand and the coconuts and the palms and various other things. The other problem is that the tows are really long, and they don't have any day shapes on them, and they don't have any night lights on them when you meet them at night, and so there really is a danger of kind of going between them.
Despite all the challenges, we soon arrived in Belitung, which is a UNESCO Global Geopark. The geopark is known for its spectacular granite landscapes that have large freestanding rock outcrops which are shaped by lots of erosion and weathering over time. We also noticed the Asian water monitor lizard that was out and about. So we have just come to these rocks. They're a bit like the ones in Caribbean, Virgin Gorda, but they're just at low water. They're kind of, you can see them bedded in the sand, and they're in very strange shapes all around. Really cool.
I believe these are between 60 and 200 million years old, these collectively around here.
So many different parts of these rocks, like you just go under them and between them, and I don't know how much they change over time, but they're quite fascinating. So to get back from these rocks, we have to wade back over this stretch of water. It's not deep, and back to our dinghy. Well, that's the way we found to do it anyway.
It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and this is the first night watch between Belitung and the island of Batam. And Batam is the last island that we'll be visiting in Indonesia before crossing the strait towards Singapore and then Malaysia. It's a really shallow sea around here. It's like 34 meters. I don't think we've had anything deeper than that for the whole journey. It's not the best charted area of the world, this. We have been told that there are bodies that are uncharted. Kind of left in a bit of a hurry because You do have to specify when you check in Indonesia where you're going to be checking out of, and we said Belitung, but anyway, apparently it's okay to check out of Batam instead. So we've got about a 2 or 3 night passage depending on the wind. Buddy boat tea time is about 3 miles behind. It's a good sail. We're doing about 5 knots in about between 10 and 15 knots of wind, and we're still on a dead run, so we pulled out the head sail, and it's a much more comfortable run now. And very few fishing boats for a change, which is good, although there is some traffic, cargo vessels coming down from the Malacca Strait down to, I'm guessing, Jakarta. Usual thing with Indonesia, we are faced with a wall of fishing boats. I've counted at least 30, and there's one maybe on the AIS, and that's it. So once again, we've got one of them scenarios where the fishing boat comes up alongside. It's like really good in the engines, and then comes alongside and then cuts in front of the bow. I mean, again, it's this ridiculous superstition about like getting rid of the bad luck by passing it on to another boat by crossing their bows. So it's about 2 o'clock-ish in the morning, and we've gone through a really heavy squall, and there's lightning around. It seems that the wind kind of went up to about 30-mile-an-hour gusts and then dropped completely and came at us on the nose, so we've had to drop all the sails, and now we're just motoring into what it seems like a head current. There's also a lot of fishing boats around as well, seem to be coming at all sorts of strange angles. Luckily they're lit this time. But the channel is narrowing out. We had a few anchorages set up just as a safe haven before we entered the marina. But our buddy boat has just sent us a map of all the pirate attacks that have happened this year around this area. So it's a very active area. So I think we're just going to crack on ahead and just motor through the night, despite the hazards, and try and get to the marina hopefully in the morning.
If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly. We finally reached our last stop in Indonesia and headed across the Singapore Straits to our first stop in Malaysia. Our plan was to check into Malaysia and leave our boat there while we headed into Singapore by bus.
So it's a real ship spotter's paradise here. Over there we just passed the Futong, which is involved in a collision just last month. It's got a huge hole in the side of it. So over here we've got all of the Chinese cargo companies, the shipping cargo companies, and with a wonderful backdrop of Singapore in the background, with a famous hotel with the, I forgot what it's called now, but there's like a whole ship like on top of 3 high-rise buildings, and you can go up there and buy a ticket, which we're hoping to do when we go up there, as long as it's not too expensive, and you get a marvellous view of Singapore. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I haven't spent so much time in Indonesia, which is kind of a very poor country, and been surrounded by a lot of poverty. It's like Gulliver's Travels. We're going to be going from feeling like we're multi-millionaires to feel like we're paupers in the space of a few days.
As we went round the west side of Singapore to reach our port in Malaysia, we had to go under what looked like quite a low bridge. I always find myself on the front of the boat going under these bridges, checking to see, firstly, if tea time were going to make it, and to see if our mast was going to make it.
So we're on our way to immigration. So as ever, every immigration check-in and check-out, clearing in, clearing out is different. And this time we checked in, well, we went to the marina and then we had to take a golf buggy to the nearest ferry terminal where we've been issued into the back room near immigration. And it seems like we're clearing in here, the whole family on the day out.
As soon as the rain passed, we were straight on a bus into Singapore.
Okay, so when you get the bus from Malaysia side, you go to the Larkin station and get on a bus, and it's about 5 rupees per person. And you get on the bus for not very long, and then you get off at, I don't know, this is JB station, I think. And you have to walk through customs and immigration to check out of Malaysia. That's what we're doing now.
The whole journey from Malaysia into Singapore can be a bit fiddly, but it's doable if you've got the patience. Singapore Island was originally inhabited by fishermen and pirates, and it served as an outpost for the Sumatran Empire. But there has been a lot of interest in Singapore over the years, mainly because of its position, because it dominates the Strait of Malacca and connects the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea. The British and the Dutch both had colonies there, and the Japanese eventually took over the islands during the Second World War. Singapore then joined the Federation of Malaysia in 1963 and became an independent state in 1965. The opium trade was also quite big, raising huge profits.
I think a lot of other workers in Singapore that were building this city and trading, they were just so tired, and the opium kind of kept them going. And they say that the British Empire might never have been formed if it wasn't for the opium. But then it turned into addiction, so that's when it became a problem.
So because of this, they first opened an anti-opium clinic, a treatment centre, and later the death penalty was introduced for any traffickers or manufacturers. So since the 1960s and 70s, Singapore has concentrated on transforming itself into a global economic power. It has modernised and focused on manufacturing, housing, and a fantastic infrastructure.
A thousand candles flicker in 1,000 windowsills, a sea of empty hearts without.
We met some friends who live in Singapore but hoping to go sailing like us one day. Being a chef, he was the best person to be hanging out with in Singapore. And because there are so many bizarre things on the menu in Singapore, we are quite glad that we had his guidance.
may be silent, but we hear you all the same. Your words are in the sunlight and the tapping of the rain.
Here we are on a hawker center in Singapore, and we're having a dish with Chinese heritage, xiaolongbao soup dumplings. They just steam very, very nice, so you're supposed to take them like this with your chopstick. Dip them inside the vinegar. This is vinegar with a little bit of fresh chopped ginger. And then you put them in your mouth and you eat them. But be careful that might be hot.
We won't surrender. Though your voice is gone, your words we will remember. The lessons of...
Okay, so we've got quite a few things here, including crab salad bun, hot dog donut, and even a curry donut.
And a sardine donut.
Yeah.
repeating and the cycle we must break. So come my friends, it's time that you awake. We will be free, we'll be released as the echoes of your voices fill the air. We won't give up, we won't surrender. Though your voice is gone, your words we will remember.
Some fresh oranges, wow.
The driving winds of autumn blow the leaves into the dust. The newly naked forest shouts and shivers at the gusts. You and me, we're family.
So stay tuned for more adventures as we sail around the world. If you want to find out how to fix your boat, go to our Mothership Maintenance channel, and you've got any questions you want to ask us, join our Patreon family.
Sing